What's going on, guys? It's Davidium here, and I've decided to start up a series for farming old transmog. Now we're heading towards the end of the expansion, and a lot of people are trying to farm up gold to get their long boys, whether you're close or you're completely starting up fresh, or maybe you have a couple million gold and you're just trying to look for a couple extra ways to finish it up. But right now everyone is farming up gold. Lots of people are doing transmog. Lots of people are doing all sorts of stuff to get that long boy. Now that current content is getting a little bit older, not as many people are doing keys, not as many people are doing the raid. It's just finding little ways, little things to do in the game that make it worthwhile. So the series is basically going to be me running 2 different dungeons 10 times each and just comparing the loot at the end, seeing which one is better. Now obviously 10 dungeons is a very small loot sample, and it's a lot of RNG. For instance, Shadowfang Keep here, you can see I just got the Assassin's Blade, but I might run another 50 runs and never see that thing again. And so obviously those first 10 runs, that's going to boost up the price, but I might go run another 10 runs and I might get 20,000 value from what I keep. So a lot of it's RNG. You can't take each of these runs, like, you never know what you're going to run into. But it could be the same thing even with the hunter runs. It might be a little bit more accurate, but at the same time a lot of it is RNG. For Scarlet Monastery, for instance, there's a lot more rare drops in Shadowfang Keep, but each of those rare drops are worth so much more gold than the ones in SFK that, I mean, you could make millions off one drop. But this series is going to be basically just running a whole bunch of them, different combinations of dungeons. You guys can decide what dungeons we run next. Just post it in the comments, what dungeons you would like to see going head to head. And I mean, if we do enough of them, then it will start to balance out. You'll start to see a general idea of which dungeons are better, which ones are worse, what kind of drops you get, and so on and so forth. Now let's get to the loot. A lot of you guys are here for that, so let's go see what we got. Alright. So we are back in Dalaran now. We're going to go take a look at the items that we have received from both Shadowfang Keep and Scarlet Monastery after running 10 runs each. Shadowfang Keep only took about like 35-40 minutes, and Scarlet Monastery was about the same, about 30 minutes or so. So they're both really quick. You could technically run them both in an hour, but because of the 10 lockouts, it kind of restricts you. I kind of had to wait around, but you can kill the rares, or sorry, for instance, you can kill the mobs outside of Scarlet Monastery. It has a lot of the same loot table as the mobs inside the dungeon, and I even managed to get a blue item from those mobs as well. But let's start off with the Shadowfang Keep gear. So what I got from SFK, I got a lot more than what I got. Most of the dungeons that I run, you usually get about 2 full bags worth of greens, but after filtering out all the junk, sending off the lock boxes, and taking out the mats and stuff, this is what I was left with. So these 2 bags here. The greens, for the most part, what I like to keep is stuff that's has a good sell rate. So you get the sell rate by dividing the whatever the sell rate is by 1, and I'll tell you how many days it takes to sell one of them. So all these items they're a really decent sell rate. I mean, none of them are that crazy. They're all worth at least a few hundred gold, and they all have really high sell rate, which is one thing about most of the items in Shadowfang Keep. Shadowfang Keep items, they sell really quick, but a lot of them aren't really worth that much. Like, a lot of them might be worth 50 gold, but they have a 0.07 sell rate. But these were the ones I decided to keep from that run. And then my blues, it's not bad. Gargoyle's Bite, which is 5,300 on my server, and it has a decent sell rate, 0.02, so people buy it. It doesn't go crazy. Same thing with the Guillotine Axe, 12,000 or 13,000 on my server right now, which is definitely not bad at all, with 4.02. But then you have items like the Razor's Edge, where it's a couple thousand gold, but it's a 0.01, so people may never actually buy that. I mean, the mug isn't bad, but people don't buy it. On the other side, though, we got our Buccaneer's Vest, which is it's a market value of 6,500 gold, 5,000 on my realm, with a really good sell rate, 0.04. These ones sell really fast because, I mean, they look really, really good, and a lot of people like making the pirate set. But overall, the best item we got, hands down, which you guys saw earlier, was the Assassin's Blade, with a 0.02 sell rate, which it's not the lower item level Assassin's Blade, which if you go in when you're below level 20, it is worth a lot because people use it for twinking. But these higher level ones do still sell. I've sold them on other characters before, and it still does sell. Is it going to fetch 174k? Probably not. But the region market value average is 70k, which is probably about right, about what it will end up going for, although it will take some time to sell. So overall, for the SFK, the total sales is 211,000 market value. So 211,000 market value for Shadowfang Keep running 10 runs. Now, that was very lucky because of the Assassin's Blade. So that's what I mean. Without the Assassin's Blade, you're only looking at about like 30-40k, which isn't that much. All right, and as for Scarlet Monastery, so Shadowfang Keep ended up with a 211,000 market value for the 10 runs. Scarlet Monastery, I wasn't as lucky there. After getting rid of all the low value items or low sell rate items, this is all that I was left with over here. So it's very similar. A lot of greens at some are worth quite a bit. For instance, the shield on my roam's up for 7,700. Only has a 0.01 sell rate though, so it might not sell, especially if it's a really, I mean, there's nothing really special about it. It might sell, it might not. We'll see. I'll throw it up there because of the value that it's at right now. Not a recipe, but for the most part, it's just some greens with a really good sell rate. Some of them are a lower sell rate but have a higher value, but for the most part, yeah, 0.02, 0.02, 0.03, 0.03, and they're worth at least a few hundred, if not. These ones here are worth over 900 gold. For better items, we have the Silver Thread Rod. Very low sell rate, but it goes with the Silver Thread transmog set, which the robes and the armor go for between 20 and 30,000 gold. I've sold them for that much, and I still have a few more up there right now. And then as for blues, nothing really that fancy. We have the Band of the Hierophant, which decent sell rates, not worth that much. We got two head splitters, which on my realm they're up for 18,000 gold, but once again they're 0.01. They don't sell that well. And then we have the Needler, which really good sell rate, but it's not worth much gold at all. It's only up for 114 gold. One thing I do want to say before I go, so rings like this, or even green rings, you'll see them up for values of 1 to 2,000 gold, and you might think it's because it's a ring, there's no transmog, people won't buy them, but people do buy the rings. I've sold a lot of green rings that are low level. I don't know if people use them for questing or what they use them for, but people do buy the rings, even if it is up for a few thousand gold. I think the most I've sold them for, I've sold some from Shadowfang Keep for 7,000-8,000 gold. I don't know why people buy them, but people buy them, so make sure you do not delete your rings. People will buy those. But yeah, so overall, we'll take a look at our value for this one. Our value is 78,132 market value. Which, it's not bad for 10 runs. It's really good. Some of these items do have a really low sell rate, like the more expensive ones aren't worth that much. Like the axe kind of boosted it up. Same thing with the Silver Thread Rod, it kind of boosted up the value. But overall, it's obvious Shadowfang Keep was the winner here because of the Assassin's Blade, making it jump up 170,000 gold. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos. And as well, if you want to see me run any specific dungeons, make sure you put them in the comments below, and I can make some more videos of running dungeons of your guys' choice. But anyways guys, have an awesome night, and until next time, bye bye.